Alright. Hello YouTube, my name's Chris. Welcome to the channel. This is my first ever video and potentially my last. We'll see how it goes. And I'm also saying hello probably to the one person who's going to watch this. We'll see how this whole thing turns out. But basically what brings me to make this video is a lot of people on Facebook, on forums, have been asking me to help them out with different rod selection, reel selection, mostly high-end gear that I've been that I mess around with or like to play around with, or different different styles of rods and reels, mostly on the high-end side that I can help people pick because I have a pretty large collection of high-end things. And what that means to me is mostly the Megabass, high-end Megabass products, high-end Daiwa products, some Shimano. I'll basically, if it's a good quality top-end rod or reel, I'll give it a shot. And I also only pick the things I like. I'm not really a brand loyalty guy. I don't really care for a particular brand or anything like that. I will just pick what I like. Anyway, to get started, that's one of the reasons why I want to go do this. Other big reason here is I thought it would be cool. I just got a small shipment in of some cool goodies this week that I thought would be cool to show off to some people, and I know I've been getting quite a few questions on them. What I'm bringing today, this is definitely not a review video. This is also a low quality budget production. I'm just showing you, talking about these rods, no sort of video production or anything like that. I'm just going to post this pretty much raw. So the things I'm bringing to you today are the new Daiwa Steez Compile-X rods. I just got this shipment in. I wanted to just take them, show you my initial impressions, show you some details on a couple of the models I got. I don't have all the models. I picked out a handful of them to try, and then I'll see how I like everything and potentially pick up more of the line or duplicates or anything like that. But so I just wanted to show off what came in. And so I picked out 3 models I have here today that I'll go through. I also brought in a set of random rods that will I'm not even sure if I have everything things to compare with these, but I'm sure I'll grab something and see if I can show any comparisons between the rods and feels and finishes and all those sorts of things. So let me just get started. I'll start diving in. So this new Steez AGS line is basically all brand new line for the US domestic market. And what I think my personal opinion, what they're trying to do here is sort of bring a domestic style P5 like the Megabass P5. So looking at some of the stats, it seems like these are potentially that dual action blank that a lot of P5 people like or dislike, but it seems a very similar concept. I don't know if that's actually what they're doing here or if it's a very similar technology or anything like that, but just reading some of the things, that's my sort of guess. The Steez rods over time have gotten I'd say pretty bad rap, and some people say justifiably, but I don't actually think so. So the big downside that a lot of people said about the original Steez rods are really these AGS guides. And to be clear, I don't think anyone's saying they're bad guides. They're fantastic. Their performance and light, they're just incredible guides. The issue is they break, and or allegedly they break, and they're hard to find replacement. It's not like Fuji where you can just go buy replacements and all that sort of stuff. The reason I don't think that's a fair criticism is because Daiwa's got the best warranty in the business. If someone has an AGS guide that they weren't able to get a warranty coverage on, I'd love to hear from them, because I'm just not aware of anything. From my understanding, Daiwa is really fantastic with their warranty and making sure you get what you pay for and all that sort of stuff. I've fished Daiwa Steez rods. heavily fished them. Didn't abuse them, but didn't necessarily, you know, overly take care of them. I've never broken an AGS guide. That being said, these are new AGS guides. The intent behind them is keep that ridiculously light setup, the ridiculously smooth feel of these guides, and also make them stronger. So supposedly these are stronger. I also heard a rumor that these are the same ones that are on the JDM racing designs. I have not confirmed that myself, but would be interesting to know. Maybe someone in the comments could tell me if that's the case here. But anyways, I'm excited to see how they perform. So just initially, the first thing I just want to bring this up close, how nice it looks. So the first thing I noticed when picking up this rod is how beautiful it is. It is definitely more sleek than some of the P5 line. I think the P5 line is more of a Megabass's subtle, but yet still beautiful. Don't get me wrong, they're amazing rods. Line. This got a little bit more flash. You can even see on the blank here, it's a little bit more polished than that flat finish from some of the Megabass rods. So right now, the rod I have in my hand is their 7.2 heavy. This one is called the Power Pitch. The intent for this one is for pitching, frogs, and I believe bigger swim baits would be excellent on this. I'm mostly going by what I believe this is supposed to be equivalent to is that perfect pitch from Megabass. I throw a bigger, like a 6-inch mag draft on it, some jigs, some frogs I'll throw on them. And this one right here, I believe is designed from that action. Just by the name and some of the things I've heard initially, but I guess I will confirm today how that action looks and see if it's similar or whatnot. And to be clear, I have not fished these. I want to put that disclaimer in. This is not me saying, hey, they're good or not. This is just my initial impressions. So first, I'm just going to walk through the rod. One of the big things, or another big complaint of the Steez line was foam. They have switched to cork in this new model. I believe every single one has cork. That's another thing that I don't necessarily agree with. I actually like foam for a lot of my baits that I need to work. So need to work or move, like a jerk bait or a fluke, or even a top water like a popper or a walking bait. I prefer that nice cushion after a long day of working a bait. And I don't feel I need the ridiculous sensitivity on those things. When I need sensitivity, of course I love cork or carbon fiber or some of the wood finishes and like the arms and some of the arms models, but so I don't, anyway, I am not that picky, I would say, when it comes to the grip, so I'm fine with the cork. I know it probably pleases a lot more people out there because I've heard many complaints about the foam. But anyway, seems like a beautiful, nice looking cork. I don't know the quality of it. I'm not going to take it out of the plastic until I get some U40 sealant on this guy. But they have this reel seat. It's the air sensor reel seat. I believe this is a similar reel seat that they used on the old Steez model. I love it. It looks nice. It feels nice. The back here, the little trigger here is comfortable to palm, is one of the things I'm noticing, and it doesn't get too much in the way. The USA Destroyers, I probably have a few left over somewhere, but like not a huge fan of those because of this. This doesn't have the same problem as those. The other thing that I want to go through is this lock nut is really, really nice. It has a little bit of the Shimano, I believe Zodius has a little bit of these line type of things going up and down that it's not as bad as the JDM version of these rods as far as look, but this thing is just beautiful. It's smooth to basically unscrew it and tighten it. It's it's just beautiful, right? It's just finished great. And then the other thing I'm noticing, I even have, I have this, what comes with this is the rod sock, rod glove, whatever you want to call it. And even with this, I could tell this thing is freaking light. Like, I could just already tell this thing is incredibly light. So I'm going to take the rod sock off, and this is the rod sock is actually another thing I really like about this. So Megabass mostly comes with these protective covers for they're basically useless in the sense that you put your rod in it when you get it, and then you put it in the bottom of a box somewhere because they're not practical. These are useful. I'm gonna use these on my boat. I'm gonna put them in the rod locker with these. This is exactly what I think a rod should have, and a high-end rod should come with this. The Megabass style looks nice, totally not functional. I'm a huge fan of that so far. And yeah, I was right. This thing's a feather. I've been waiting for a rod to replace the Megabass Perfect Pitch for extremely long time. I've been waiting for this particular model for 6-7 months. I got word this is sort of coming, and I'm just extremely excited. The big downside to the Perfect Pitch, that rod is a workhorse. I have several of them, the Gen 1, Gen 2s. That rod is amazing. This is a fraction of the weight. It is so light, and if the blank is at all similar, this is exactly what I've been looking for. This is incredible. Sorry, I'm a little taken about how nice this feels in the hand. This is a very comfortable rod. So yeah, to get into this specific model here, they call it their Power Pitch, very similar name to the Perfect Pitch. I don't know if that's on purpose, by accident, or anything, but I'm gonna get into a little bit of seeing where the bend is, where the backbone is. It's rated a fast tip. It's pretty fast. It's not extremely fast. It's not extra fast, obviously. So this is probably a good fast tip. I'm trying to see where you've got some bend to it. It probably goes right up. You can see right in where the bend is really starting. You get into backbone right around here, so that's probably around 6 guides down. You start getting into backbone, and it's got a lot of backbone. There's a little give in the back, a little bit of give lower down on the blank, but you can really get into backbone here. So I'll hold it here, and you can see how it's how it's bending. So it's what you expect from a heavy action, maybe a little bit more tip than normal. I think this is extremely similar to the Perfect Pitch. I think I have one on the rod rack. Let me just pull. Yeah, I do. I have a Gen 1 here. It's the same blank between the Gen 1 and Gen 2, just different cork and styling on it. And so I'm not gonna run off. Exactly the same length. Just to give it that. You could tell it's the blank itself is actually a very similar diameter. The spacing of the guides is different here, but the interesting thing I'm noticing right away is the guides, the AGS guides, are much bigger, wider. Now let me check a little bit of the let me do a little bit of bend test here. I don't wanna sorry, let me here. This is remarkably similar. I would say, sorry, I'm just trying to get a good angle on this. It's incredibly similar. Sorry, I'm gonna line it up better. And then, yeah, you could see that the regular Perfect Pitch might be a tad more softer than the Power Pitch. The Power Pitch, let's see, tip wise, they're pretty similar tip speed. maybe a tad bit more backbone in the power pitch. And then the other thing I am noticing is that secondary bend in the power pitch is way deeper in the length, down the blank. Like I'm more than halfway down the blank and I see the thing flexing a little bit in the back here. I do that to the perfect pitch. That thing's not bending. It's stiff. So that's one impression. And then I'm lifting up the difference. This thing is half the weight. It's ridiculously light. My scale, I was going to show you guys the weight here. I could comment the weights on these if you're interested in the comments section, but my scale unfortunately did not work. I could put, I'll either look up the weights or put them on a scale for you guys. Anyway, similar action, similar feel. I know I couldn't get a good grip to really show how they bend, but I'm telling you, they feel very similar in a lot of ways. Just way lighter, feels way more refined on the Daiwa side, and don't get me wrong, this is one of the greatest rods I think for a lot of applications. I use it super heavily, but I'm pretty thrilled about this. Oh, one thing I didn't just realize I didn't look at or cover is the hook keeper. Taking a look at it, this thing feels like junk. My initial impression is a Fuji hook keeper will be on here as soon as this thing breaks, which will probably be the first time I use it. This thing feels super flimsy, a little sad. I mean, I guess it's fine. The Fuji ones are a couple of dollars, so not a big loss there. But that's one thing I definitely don't love about it. At least they included something. But yeah, this thing is definitely flimsy. Other thing I'm going to do, I'll wait till and I'm going to run off and grab some reels to see how they balance with different reels. I have a handful of reels laying around. I'll see what grab different reels so people can kind of see how they balance and what they might want to do. I'll just, my extra stuff I'll just grab and see what we'll use and not use. So anyway, here's the next rod I'm pulling out. This right here is a 7.2 medium. This is their moving bait versatile. So the reason I picked this rod specifically is I'm looking for a mid cranking rod. If you look at the Megabass lineup for the P5s, there is nothing for that mid-size, mid-depth crank. They have the light cranks like brilliantly covered. Deep cranks, not so great on it, but mid cranks is like, I think totally missed. I think things can be thrown on there. Nothing out of this world or mind blowing from there. I have a few Loomises that are basically noodles in this camp that I don't love, so I wanted to try something and try this and see how I like it and what's the deal with it. Anyway, exact same sort of styling and funk features as far as that stuff goes. It's got that beautiful piece of crap hook keeper. Again, ridiculously light. That's the first initial impression here. So now I'm just going to get into the blank. This thing is got some serious bend to it. Well, this is ridiculously, it's got a lot of action. It feels nice. Like, it's definitely still got backbone back here. It's got some backbone and it's got flex back here, which is nice. This is going to be, certainly should be decent at cranking. I would say that it's probably more of a moderate fast. It's definitely not as fast as the last tip, but this is definitely this can do a lot of moving bait things. I think this is going to be, they listed it for doing chatter baits, spinner baits, all those sorts of things. I think maybe on the lighter side it'll be fine. This is definitely pretty spongy. I think this could be a really great crank rod. It doesn't have that complete noodle feel that of some of the other brands for their cranking rod, and it looks beautiful. But anyway, I'm gonna fish it before I tell you if it's good or not. I don't know. I want to give it a try. Beautiful looking rod. Again, I'll get you more weight stats on it. That's another thing I just noticed, not too happy about. Made in China. I don't know if that's the cork or the whole thing. $550 rod, made in China. I'm not too happy about that. I wish it was made in Japan, or better yet, USA, but again, I don't know if they had to charge more, if they had to, if they built it there. I'm sure they would, but a little bit of a downside there. Don't know how much that matters to people. Certainly matters a little bit to me. I'm trying to see if I have any rods that I can compare it to. Taking a look at their, I have, this is, I would imagine the Cyclone would be pretty similar. Oh no, this is way stiffer. It's got way stiffer down the, this is not a comparison. I'm not gonna waste the time by comparing the two. Okay, so I'll just dive into my last one. I didn't even take the plastic off this, the plastic or the manual here off this guy. This is the pitch punch, pitch punch flip, whatever the heck it is. It's their punching rod. It's 711, heavy power, extra heavy power. This is going to be your deep punch, your heavy punching, heavy pitching, big jigs, big flipping weights. This is going to be fantastic for me down in Florida. I've tried the St. Croix punching rods. I don't have great things to say for the price point. Megabass did not come out with a punching rod or anything like that. I mean, the Tequila Baccarat is actually capable of punching, but it's weird to be punching on a 7-foot rod. 7 foot even, or like 7-1 type of rod. It works. It's not ideal. This is what I've been waiting for, is something that I can get that is just going to be all around useful for a lot of the fishing I'm doing. So one of the things I will have to open this up to sort of get a better look at if there's anything different with this one. I think all of them have the same styling and size. This is a 711. Not sure if I mentioned that yet, but again, same beautiful look, feel that all their rods have. So what I'm gonna do right now is run off and get some reels, and we will put some reels on some of these rods to see how they balance, and so you guys can see what you think about the balance and all that sort of stuff. So give me one moment. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back with several reels, and I'm just gonna pick one of these rods to balance. I don't want the video to be 35 hours long, so I'm just gonna pick, I don't even know which one this is. This is the Moving Bait Versatile. So this is gonna be a lighter rod than all the other ones, so probably some of these lighter reels here. So I just picked 5 reels, that were laying around, not on rods, that potentially could work here. So I have here the Steez Hyper Long Cast. Pretty cool JDM reel they released this year. It's supposed to be their long casting edition. Steez looks pretty cool. It's more of a bluish tint, so it doesn't totally match, if you're a style guy, to the blank and the styling here. But first impressions in my hand, it feels balanced. It definitely feels balanced. I was worried it's a heavier reel than some of the other ones I have, but it feels pretty good. I'm at the lock nut right now. We'll say right above the lock nut is where it balances. It is one finger, incredibly balanced. This is right up there with the P5s. This might even be better. Holy crap! This is impressive. This is amazingly balanced. I don't know if they designed to balance it against like a Steez A or something, but this is incredible. So definitely a good option if you're looking for balance. For this guy, I'm looking probably for a slower gear ratio. I don't think I have any in my hand that are slower gear ratio here, so I'm gonna put like a crazy cranker and trick it out with a bunch of ZPI parts or something like that. But or I've been meaning to try one of the new Zillions. I just, for some reason, always go for the top of the line ones, and I don't have one right on me right now. So this next reel, first of all, looks sick with the styling here. This is the new JDM Steez Limited. This thing is basically a regular SVTW, some super tuning, new spool. Doesn't have the USA warranty. Probably not worth the price, but we can get into that in another session. But it does look freaking cool with this like chromy, shiny, like it's got some fleck in it look, and it looks really badass on this this rod. Balances a little bit higher up the lock nut. It's still incredibly balanced. This is nice, feels right. Still pretty, not as great as probably the Hyper Long Cast, but excellent, excellent balance there. So far, I mean, I have a feeling all these reels will balance perfectly well on this thing. This thing is made to be balanced. I was a little worried that it wouldn't because these are a little longer length than the P5s, but I don't know where they hid the weight or how they got them to balance, but it's working. Next I have, this is a Steez CT, and it has the 90mm carbon fiber handle, so it's a little bit lighter probably than the standard, and it's probably tricked out internally. I don't actually know on this one, or it might be stock, I don't know. But anyway, this is going to be a ridiculously light reel compared to everything else, and this thing balances very similarly, a little bit higher than the SVTW up the lock nut. So it seems like you need a little bit more weight on the back to balance this, balance with this reel, it makes sense with the longer length here. But this feels damn good, like the size and the palmability and like the comfort. This just feels nice, like it just feels round and smooth and like it's just comfortable. So that's this guy. Let's pick another one from the pile, and then this is the new JDM Antares DC. Not a huge fan of DC reels. Had to get it because it's. Sorry about that, guys. Shimano's new flagship reel, a little bit heavier than the other guys, but I had to get it just to try it out. I'm not a huge DC reel guy, but I gave this one a shot. It throws fine. Definitely not worth the price in my opinion. It feels good. It's definitely got more weight than the other guys. You can, yeah, it balances pretty good. You can see a little bit further down the lock nut, it's balancing. Right at the top of the lock nut, I'd say it's balanced. So it's still a pretty nice lightweight reel. It feels good. Nothing crazy there. And then this last one I picked out specifically. I actually took this off another rod because I am leaning towards putting it on maybe one of my, on the punching reel, the punching rod, because this is the, unfortunately I still have the plastic here, so that doesn't make too much sense. I'll put it on the perfect pitch, but sorry, power pitch. But this is the Steez Zillion 2020 10-to-1 gear ratio, the ridiculously fast one. I got one because it's fun, but it's fun to get cool gear, but I'm not totally 100% like into the ridiculously high speed. It's if I'm gonna use it, I'll use it when I'm punching, pitching, so I'm picking up line quickly, go 10 seconds faster in my day of fishing, not really meaningfully, but it's, again, a super smooth reel. I actually think it's great for the price point. I don't think it gets talked enough about. it's anyway, it's a really nice, really nice reel. And this is with the power pitch, and it's perfect. Insanely perfectly balanced, incredible. Anyway, so far I'm beyond excited for these things. I think they're ready for get some time in the water, so I can actually tell you how they fish and feel and everything, and how line goes through the guides and all that good stuff. But I'm super pumped. Let me know if you guys like the content. If you don't like it, let me know as well. Subscribe or don't. I don't know if I really care, but yeah, thanks for checking it out. That's it.